Hello everyone and welcome to a live race day preview for Mornington this afternoon for RM Ansett Classic Day. Going to be an absolute cracker of a day. Grand final day, sunny, 30 degrees, Epsom day up in Sydney, and a little consolation listed meeting down here in Victoria with the Mornington meeting, and plenty of winners to be found. So we'll get straight on with it. We're going to be doing races 2 through till 8, so the last 7 races. Not doing the first race because there's not enough past data, but if you watched my preview yesterday, you would know that I'm taking on the favourite Pride of Sullivan and going for Undisputed at a bit of a price, so that's that. But we'll get straight on with race 2 now. It's the big screen company handicap at benchmark 70 level over the 1,000 metres. Now, the past 3 winners this particular race have been Direct, Starry Legend, and Sebricate. The last 2 you probably remember. Few Sebricates for the older racing fans would know that one. That was back in the Super Seth era. What have they had in common? A few of these were difficult to find because there's benchmark races and a lot of horses are coming from different form lines. It's hard to get a reading on them. But what they've had in common, they've all been 3 to 4 year olds. 2 out of the 3, which have been Direct and Starry Legend, both speedsters, were first up. Sebricate was, I think, 4th or 5th up, and it settled back. So 2 out of the 3 were speedsters and first up. Has run in good race before. Now that means usually either listed or above, but I'm also counting races in high prize money that don't have that listed or group name tag, and then drawn out. So 1,000 metres at Mornington. It's okay to draw out because you get a nice flowing run if you draw out. So I've got my top 4. I haven't got just one horse. I just got my top 4 on each slide today. So this is how I've seen it. So I've got Midnight Charm, the favourite, on top. We'll go have a look at it. It's first up and it's a speedster. Yes. It's a 5-year-old, not a 3 to 4-year-old, but that's only 1 year off. It's not the end of the world. It's run in a good race before. It ran in the Bob Hoisted, showed a lot of speed here and didn't disgrace itself behind Kalos and the Bopper. And what else have I put? It's drawn out. It's drawn gate 9. So that's beneficial as well. In second, I think Cracker Rib is over the odds today. Draws 1 inside Midnight Charm whilst drawing out, which I think is beneficial for that horse because it can press Midnight Charm for an early lead. And it can keep that horse working if it wants to. It's a 3-year-old gelding, which is fits the criteria well. It's not first up, but it's a speedster. So I think this horse is probably second best behind Midnight Charm, but it should get a better map. Who did I have in for third? Lloyd's Crown. It's first up and it's a speedster. It was basically first up. It's off a bit of a let up. First up, off a break, it's a speedster. Draws the pole for Carleen Heffel. It'll be running all right. And Tantat Magic in for 4th. Yeah, it's first up. Craig Newidon shows intent. It could do something, but probably won't test the winner. But I think I like Midnight Charm and Cracker Rib out of all of them. Those are the main 2. Move on to race 3 now. It's the Mercedes-Benz Mornington handicap at benchmark 70 level for the fillies and mares over the 1,500. Past 3 winners of this race have been Mississippi, Plucky Pirouette, and Miss Polanski. What have they had in common? They've all been locally trained, so all trained at Mornington. Usually Mornington trainers have a good success rate at Mornington. That's why I took notice of that. They've all been under $10 SP at the jump, and they've all been competitive at the class in their past couple. I've got Dunalley on top. This is a race where I thought the top 2 were clearly the 2 to beat, and I could hardly split them, but I went for Dunalley. Interesting, Matty Cartwright doesn't ride here because it's ridden he's ridden this horse's past 5 and now gets off to ride something else. Wiremu Pin takes the ride on this horse, so not entirely sure what's going on there, but this horse was good, or not bad in the 70 last up, but was really good in the 64 before that, and was good behind Tasman Park at Sandown here in Tasman Park, a few have got a good opinion of. Fiasco Test is the other one that I really like. I think it should map in front of its stablemate Dunalley. It was good too back behind Our Red Morning, beating Passione, so that looks good for me. And it beat Red Fandom up here. So these two horses are on similar wavelengths, Dunalley and Fiasco Test. I could hardly split them, just went for Dunalley. Mere Fancy, I think, deserves to be third favourite. I think this horse is over the odds, gets the winkers on for the first time. Hasn't been great. It's past 2, but its best is good enough, as here it was good in a Fillies and Mares 70 at Wednesday level. And then I've got Star Spangled Baby in for 4th. Not going to be my on-top selection. Gets the blinkers again, and it's a classy horse, but has to carry the weight. So that's my look at race 3. Dunalley and Fiasco Test the main 2. Race 4, the Colts, Geldings and Entires, benchmark 70, 1500. To be exact, it's the Gary Lee handicap. 2022 French Emperor, 2021 Typhoon Harmony, and 2020 Do You Reckon, the past 3 winners of this particular race on this particular day. What have they all had in common? They've all been at a light weight, so not carrying a whole heap of weight. All been under $10 SP, so the market's been easy to identify. All up in distance from either 1300 to 1400, so they're progressing in their campaigns, and in their past 2 starts, has had a good run or win in benchmark 64, benchmark 70 company, which is a bit of a weird one, but it's something I found amongst these 3 horses. So I've got the Brill Building on top, and I'm taking on Pungo at the moment. So the Brill Building, as we take a look at it, bolted in at Cranbourne last start, beating Delightful Journey and the Haas. Gate 7, Zach Spain will probably have to get to midfield or western midfield, which is my only little query on where that gets to the map. But it was really good in the 64 last start. It's up in distance from the 1400 to the 1500. It's carrying the light weight of 57.5 kilos, and it's under $10 SP. So it fits the criteria well, and I think it deserves to be the on-top selection. I think I've got Rhinoceros in for second. I do. This horse is 4th up in its campaign, up in distance, good. It was good. It's on the 6-day backup from Flemington, which I think enhances its chances. Settled back there. They probably they're probably looking to show a little bit more intent at this start, and it fits the criteria well enough. I think it's over the odds. Albitsa for Michelle Payne and Tom Stockdale in for 3rd. I've got Blinkers first time, 54.5 kilos, was not disgraced at benchmark 70 level last start, straight in there for 3rd. It has a chance of winning, and Pungo looks to be a classy runner, but concedes a bit of race fitness to some other horses, concedes a bit of weight to some good progressive horses like the Brill Building. Can win because I think drawn gate 2, it gives it a tactical advantage over the 3 that I've got in there for 1st, 2nd and 3rd, but I couldn't have it on top. And if the Brill Building gets a nice flowing run, I reckon it wins. That's race 4. Race 5 now is the Penang Turf Club Trophy at benchmark 70 level over the 2,000 metres. The past 3 winners of this race have been Holster, Herman Hesse and Carey. All pretty good horses on their day, especially Herman Hesse. What have they had in common? They've all been right in the market, so they've all been easily identified by the market as, yep, it's here to win. It's a last start winner. Again. Leaders, yep. Mornington 2000, you usually want to be leading. And 3rd up, Invic. I've put Invic in brackets, so it's either 3rd up or having its 3rd run in Victoria ever, or in its preparation. No, ever. Sorry, ever. Alright, so this was not one horse fitted this bill ideally like previous years, but I've got Aravine on top, the favourite. If we take a look at it, it's not a leader, which is the first negative, but it's been easily found by the market. Damien Lane taking the ride. I'll get to a bit later why I like that. What else have I put? It's 3rd up and it's right in the market, and it's not even a last start winner, but it was good in the benchmark 70. Yeah. 2nd, I've got the 2nd favourite, Tommy. Was good in the 64, winning 1st up. then was not disgraced at 64 level last start. So third up, good. From gate 7, probably judging off this run as the ability to sit forward, but from that gate, there's going to be faster horses than it. I reckon it sits midfield or so. It's not a last start winner, but it's a winner 2 back, which is good. It's third up, which is good. It's right in the market, which is good. But the only reason I didn't put it on top was because Damien Lane rode it here, and he now jumps off this to ride a horse he's never ridden before in Aravine for Tom Dabenig. Usually, when Tom Dabenig sends one to Mornington, it's a really good chance because he trains at Warrnambool. Mornington's basically the furthest he can go. So I think that shows real intent, and I think Aravine deserves to be the on-top selection ahead of Tommy, but they're the clear 2. Commando Drift in there for third. This horse draws 9, will go forward. Billy Pinn claims the 2 kilos for 53.5. My only question mark is, will it need one more run? It's 2 from 2 second up, which is good, but will it need one more run for fitness? It was good here behind the Marg Factor and Foreign Raider, and up in distance the 2000 suits. I reckon this is a really suitable race. Gets in with a lightweight, goes forward, and it's been well supported by the market. I think it opened about 16. It's into 550 now, and I put it when I did this. It was 650. So Commando Drift can win, and Isola Sacra I put in for 4th, but I only did it because it's the last start winner and it goes forward. But it's a fair way off the others, I think. So Aravine on top, but not too confident. It's only because the D-Lane Mail came through. Race 6 is a Colts Geldings and Tyres benchmark 70 over 1200. The Homes and Acreage handicap. Past 3 winners have been La Caresse, Cheerful Legend, and Maritana. What have they had in common? Light, not necessarily a lightweight, but not the top weight or not a heavy weight. So I've just put lighter weight. Claim question mark. The Cheerful Legend and Maritana both had claims, and the horse that La Caresse beat in a photo had a claim. So I've just put claim question mark. Under $10 SP last start, so the market has had a good opinion of it in the past. It ran last start at 12 to 1400, so it's already run at this distance range before, so it's good enough. And then first to third up, so it's either fresh or just starting to hit its peak in its campaign. I'm quite keen here on the favourite Prancing Spirit. I think it's the one to beat. Sheridan Clark claims the 3, bringing it down to 55.5 kilos. From gate 4 will be in an on-speed roll. I'm trying to remember what else I did. It's got the claim for Sheridan Clark as well. It's at a lighter weight. It was under $10 SP last start. It ran last start in a 1,000 metre race, and it's only tried once over 1200, and it wasn't placed, or it placed third. So that's the only question mark, but it is first to third up. It's third up. Only query 1200. So Prancing Spirit, I've got on top. Pantalone, I think, can run well. This horse, also probably minor question mark at 1200, but draws gate 3, so can settle on speed for Jai McNeil, and this horse looks hard to beat. I've got it in for second. Extreme Flight in for third. I think this horse is way over the odds. Gets the blinkers again. Has to carry the heavy weight, which is the only question mark. But draws gate 2 for a soft run. It's coming back from 78 company, which I think is really good. Behind Vivienne and Rattle and Bang. Before this Outback Legend and Auradonte on Mornington Cup Day. Second up, peaking. It looks to be a decent chance. And I've got Speedtail in for 4th. Was not disgraced last up behind No Surrender and Shock 'em Over, who came out and won. Very good horse. D-Lane, gate 8, good chance. I was actually oblivious to the fact that Prancing Spirit was suspect over 1200. That's not changed my mind completely, but put a little more daunt on me. So I'm not totally confident on Prancing Spirit now seeing that, but decent chance. Alright, my best of the day comes up in race 7, the RM Ansett Classic. Over the 2400 metres, the past 3 winners of this race have been Saracen Knight, Lunar Flare, and High Emotion. What have they had in common? They've all been consistently racing throughout the winter. So Saracen Knight started its campaign in May, Lunar Flare started its campaign in May, and High Emotion started its campaign in March. So it's been racing up for a while. Won a Saturday race throughout the winter. All three winners won a Saturday race throughout the winter on the minimum. So on the minimum weight, which is 54 kilos this year. All ran at a Saturday race last start and all right in the market. So the market's found it. There wasn't one horse that fit the bill ideally, but my best of the day comes up in this race and might shock a few, but it's not the horse that I put in my preview yesterday, Born a King, because I have done this looking at the past after I put the preview up yesterday, and I'm very keen on another runner, and I've made it my best of the afternoon here at Mornington. Its name's Maserati Bay, and I'll tell you why. Quite keen on this horse. Now, only minor question mark is gate 9, but I'm hoping Carleen Heffel rolls forward to be outside leader, which will be most likely Rebel Racer. If it ticks that box first, I think it's almost unbeatable. This horse has been up since, unless I'm mistaken. Yep, this horse has been racing since May, tick, so it's been up for a long time. Hasn't won throughout the winter, which is another one where I'm a bit cautious, but no one else has, so it's not a total loss in that sense. What else have I put? Ran in a Saturday race last start behind Future History on the minimum 54 kilos, and it's also basically right in the market. And the only reason that I haven't got Born a King on top is because it hasn't been racing since March or May or April. It's been racing since the end of July, which means it probably doesn't have the seasoning or at the moment to be competitive with Maserati Bay, but I shouldn't say that. It's a good chance. I just think it's too short now. I've changed my mind. I'm not too keen on Born a King anymore. But it beat Future History, or almost beat Future History last start, and that's what Maserati Bay lost to last start as well. So I guess in that sense you could say Born a King's a good chance. But I think Maserati Bay is a good thing today. I really like it, especially at the price of now $6, I think. Good chance. Queen Takes King in for third. Hasn't been up since March or May, which is obviously the query, but it's on the minimum. It draws gate 1. It's peaking in its campaign now. It can run into a minor spot, and Dick Whittington I don't think has the class to win a RM Ansett Classic, but McNeil rides, which is a good sign. Gate 5 on speed will be running well, but I'm really keen Maserati Bay. Last race, race 8, is the fillies, the I Build Group Handicap. Fillies and Mares 70-1200. Past 3 winners of this race have been Après La Mer, Energy Within, and High Excalibration. What have they all had in common? They've all been under $10 SP, either a 64 winner or good 70, benchmark 70 run last start, and a relatively quick turnaround in terms of days where it's backed up. So I'm with Discerning here, number 7. So Discerning, this was a very even race, and it's only a field of 5, so it's going to be really tactical. But I think now it's 5th up in its campaign against Blinkers first time, which shows intent in my opinion. Was started favourite in a 70, but wasn't really good in it. But I think that SP states that it probably should have been good in the 70, Discerning. Draws 6, so probably has to go back and loop them all in a tactical race where they're probably going to go slow. But I don't mind it. If I go back to the criteria, it's under $10 SP. It's on a quick turnaround, the 10-day backup, so that's why I like it. I think I got Extreme Step in for second. Yeah. Was good in probably an on-speed race behind Nunthorpe and Yellow Sam. Before that was a good winner at benchmark 70 level, beating Nunthorpe. I just query over the weight for me. Heffel needed the claim to get down to 61. Otherwise, 62.5. It's going to be really hard to win. Draws 1, so it can settle a little bit closer. It's a pretty good chance. Extreme Step. Meet me in Melbourne, a 9-length winner last start, so got to be considered odds on. And Boss Queen, not too bad last start, but I like discerning. So we'll get now to the staking plan, which is a new thing, not the final thoughts. Get into the staking plan. So it's all in units. So I'm going to have 1.5 units Midnight Charm in race 2 and half a unit Cracker Rib as a little saver. In race 3, I think the 2 Bright Oak Jenkins runners are the ones to beat. So 1.5 on Dun Alley, 1 on Fiasco Tess. And then in race 4, I'm going to have 1.25 on the Brill Building. Think it's really hard to beat. Prancing Spirit. Actually, if you're listening now, that's a wipeout. I'm crossing out Prancing Spirit. I don't want 2 units on it. I'm crossing it out. But I will have 2 units on Maserati Bay in the Ansett Classic thing. It's really hard to beat. But that's going to do it for this Mornington race day preview. Hopefully I've tipped you into a winner. Hopefully we can get some winners in Sydney. And I'll see you all to do it again next week. Bye for now.